The United States quarter dollar is one of the most iconic coins in American history. For many years, it has been circulating across the country, from your pocket change to vending machines. While most of these coins have a modest value of just 25 cents, some quarters have a hidden story that makes them incredibly valuable. Among the various quarters that have become sought after by collectors, the 1996 quarter dollar stands out as a coin that's more than just its face value. Though it may seem like a typical quarter to most people, there are some fascinating facts about the 1996 quarter that could make it worth far more than you think. Let's dive into the details of the 1996 quarter, explore the factors that contribute to its value, and uncover what makes it a prized possession for numismatists and collectors alike. The 1996 quarter was part of the ongoing Washington Quarter series, which has graced American currency for decades. It features the classic portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan in 1932. This design, which has been used for the quarter for nearly a century, is instantly recognizable and continues to represent the strength and leadership of the nation's first president. The 1996 quarter, just like many others, was minted with this timeless design, and at first glance, it seems like a coin that would only be worth 25 cents. However, in the world of coin collecting, even the most ordinary-seeming coins can hold immense value. The 1996 quarter is one of those coins. While it may not have any radical design changes or glaringly obvious features like some of the other more famous coins, it's the production details, minting errors, and overall rarity that make it so valuable in the coin market. One of the key factors contributing to the value of the 1996 quarter is the fact that this coin was minted as part of the United States Mint's ongoing efforts to modernize and innovate. The year 1996 was a pivotal year for U.S. coinage, as it marked the continuation of the 50-state quarters program, which was launched in 1999 but had its groundwork laid in earlier years. This program, which featured individual state designs on the reverse of the quarter, became a massive hit among collectors and the general public alike. However, the 1996 quarter itself does not feature any special state design, making it stand out from the ones that followed. While most 1996 quarters were produced for regular circulation, what sets this year apart are the few rare variations that were released. Specifically, one of the most sought-after features of the 1996 quarter is its minting errors, which are quite rare in comparison to other coins. Coin collectors go wild over these types of errors, as they create unique, one-of-a-kind items that can dramatically increase the value of a coin. One of the most important errors associated with the 1996 quarter is the doubled die variety. This error happens when the coin is struck multiple times, leading to a design that appears doubled. In the case of the 1996 quarter, the doubled die effect is most noticeable on the obverse of the coin, particularly in George Washington's portrait. The doubled images can be subtle or obvious, but even slight doubling can increase the coin's worth. For collectors, a doubled die 1996 quarter is a prized find, as these types of errors are very rare and can significantly increase the coin's value. Another error to look for in the 1996 quarter is the off-center strike, which occurs when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process. This creates a misaligned or off-center design, making the coin stand out from the rest. Off-center strike coins are also valuable to collectors because they are uncommon, and the more pronounced the error, the more valuable the coin. A well-preserved 1996 quarter with an off-center strike could be worth a significant amount of money compared to a standard coin from that year. The condition of the coin is just as important when it comes to determining its value. Like all collectibles, coins that are in pristine condition are worth more than those that are worn or damaged. A 1996 quarter that has been carefully stored, is free from scratches, and retains its original shine is going to fetch a higher price than one that has been circulated heavily. If the coin has an error and is in top-notch condition, its value increases dramatically. So, how much could a 1996 quarter be worth today? The value of a standard 1996 quarter in good condition is generally minimal, often no more than a few dollars above its face value of 25 cents. However, the value rises significantly when errors are present, particularly with the doubled die and off-center strike varieties. These rarer error coins, especially in excellent condition, can be worth thousands of dollars, but there's one very special 1996 quarter that stands out in the market. For collectors who are lucky enough to find a particularly rare and flawless example of this coin with an error, its value can soar into the tens of thousands of dollars. The most valuable and well-preserved 1996 quarters with significant errors have been known to sell for as much as $71,000. Yes, $71,000 for a single quarter. To put this into perspective, imagine stumbling across a 1996 quarter in your pocket change. It might seem like just another coin, but if you look closely, you might have a rare, error-laden gem worth far more than you ever expected. This is what makes coin collecting so thrilling, the hunt for those rare, valuable coins that could transform your collection into a fortune. Whether you're just getting into coin collecting or are a seasoned expert, the 1996 quarter represents an exciting opportunity to find something truly special. So, the next time you come across a 1996 quarter, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look. You might just have a rare, valuable coin on your hands that could be worth a staggering $71,000. Top 2 1990 quarter dollar is one such coin, often overlooked by the casual observer. At first glance, it may seem like just another piece of change, but in the world of coin collecting, the 1990 quarter has qualities that make it more valuable than you might think. Released in 1990, this quarter is part of the Standard series featuring the well-known portrait of George Washington. This design has been used for nearly 6 decades, and although it's instantly recognizable, the 1990 quarter holds a certain intrigue for collectors. This coin's simple design and mass production don't immediately scream rare or valuable, but upon closer inspection, you might just discover a hidden treasure in your pocket change. The minting process in 1990 wasn't radically different from the years that came before it, but there are subtle details that can make a 1990 quarter stand out in the eyes of a collector. The U.S. Mint, during this time, was churning out millions of quarters to meet the demands of everyday transactions, and it's in these mass-produced coins that collectors often find rarity and value. You see, it's not always about the design or the year. Sometimes, the key to a coin's value lies in its errors, production flaws, and the uniqueness that arises from these rare occurrences. One of the biggest factors in determining the value of a 1990 quarter lies in the presence of minting errors. These mistakes, which are often unintentional, can turn an ordinary coin into a prized collectible. In the case of the 1990 quarter, there are a few key errors that make this coin special. The most sought after of these is the doubled die error. A doubled die occurs when the coin is struck more than once, causing the design to appear doubled or blurry. In the case of the 1990 quarter, this can be seen most clearly on the obverse, where George Washington's portrait might have a faint, duplicated outline. These doubled die coins are among the rarest and most valuable because they represent a flaw that only occurred during the minting process, creating a unique and collectible version of an otherwise standard coin. Another error that can add value to the 1990 quarter is the off-center strike. This error happens when the coin is not perfectly aligned during production, resulting in a design that is shifted or misaligned. Off-center quarters are interesting because they are visually distinct from regular coins, and the more extreme the misalignment, the more valuable the coin becomes. While off-center strikes are relatively common, finding one from 1990 in good condition with a noticeable misalignment can significantly increase the value of the coin. Beyond the errors, the condition of the coin also plays a crucial role in determining its worth. As with any collectible, the better the condition, the higher the price. Coins that are well preserved, with minimal wear and tear, will always command a premium over those that are scratched, dirty, or heavily circulated. A 1990 quarter that has been carefully stored and remains in near mint condition is far more valuable than a coin that has been passed through countless hands over the years. So, how much could the 1990 quarter be worth? The answer depends on several factors, including its condition, any errors it might have, and the rarity of those errors. For most 1990 quarters, the value is relatively modest, usually only a few dollars above its face value. However, when you're dealing with a quarter that has a rare error like a doubled die or an off-center strike, the value increases dramatically. These error coins are highly desirable to collectors because they are so rare, and finding one in pristine condition can be a huge payoff. If you happen to come across a 1990 quarter that features a noticeable error and is in excellent condition, the value could be incredibly high. The most sought-after examples of these error coins, particularly those with well-defined doubling or severe off-center strikes, can be worth a staggering $72,000. Yes, $72,000. This is an extraordinary price for a coin that was originally worth just 25 cents. To put this into perspective, imagine finding a 1990 quarter in your pocket change, not knowing that it's one of the rare error varieties. It might seem like an ordinary coin at first, but after closer inspection, you realize that it's a unique piece of American history that could be worth a small fortune. This is the excitement of coin collecting, the thrill of finding a hidden treasure in what seems like an ordinary, everyday item. In the world of numismatics, rare coins like the 1990 quarter are the true gems, and it's the errors and imperfections that make them so valuable. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who's casually interested in coins, the 1990 quarter offers an exciting opportunity to find a valuable collectible. So, the next time you come across a 1990 quarter, take a moment to examine it closely. You might just be holding onto a coin worth a staggering $72,000. Top 31993 quarter is one such coin that many people overlook, not realizing that it could be hiding a fortune. While this coin might seem like just another typical quarter at first glance, it actually has some fascinating characteristics that make it a valuable asset to coin collectors. Today, let's dive into the details of the 1993 quarter dollar and explore how a simple coin can be worth far more than 25 cents. The 1993 quarter is part of the iconic Washington quarter series that's been in circulation for decades. Featuring the profile of George Washington, this design has become one of the most enduring symbols of American currency. The original design, created by John Flanagan in 1932, has been used in various forms for nearly 90 years. However, the 1993 quarter, like other coins from this era, has unique aspects that make it stand out among its peers. To fully appreciate the value of a 1993 quarter, it's important to understand the context in which it was produced. By the early 1990s, the U.S. Mint had already been churning out millions of quarters every year to meet the demands of a growing population and economy. The Mint had a set procedure, and most of the coins produced in 1993 were made for everyday use, with very little thought about how they would be valued in the future. But here's where the story gets interesting. The very same mass production that makes the 1993 quarter so common also makes certain errors and varieties incredibly rare and highly valuable. Coin collectors, or numismatists, often seek out these special variations, as they can turn a simple, circulated coin into a valuable piece of history. The most notable of these are minting errors that occur during the production process. While most of us are familiar with the idea of a perfectly struck coin, many collectors are particularly interested in those coins that were struck imperfectly, as these can be worth far more. In the case of the 1993 quarter, there are some key factors that make it stand out as a coin worth looking at. One of the most sought-after varieties of the 1993 quarter is the double die variety. This error occurs when a coin is struck twice during the minting process, causing the design to appear doubled. In the case of the 1993 quarter, this doubling can sometimes be seen on George Washington's portrait, with the image appearing as though it's been blurred or duplicated. These types of errors are rare and highly prized by collectors because they create a distinct, one-of-a-kind coin. A doubled die 1993 quarter can be worth thousands of dollars, as it's considered to be a truly unique piece of American coinage. Another error that collectors often look for in the 1993 quarter is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is not properly aligned in the press, causing the design to be struck off-center. While off-center errors are relatively common, certain extreme off-center strikes, particularly those that are visibly misaligned, can make a coin far more valuable. A 1993 quarter with an off-center strike that's clearly visible and in good condition could be worth a substantial amount of money to the right collector. In addition to errors, the general condition of the coin also plays a critical role in determining its value. The better the condition of a coin, the more valuable it will be. Coins that are in near-perfect condition, with no scratches, discoloration, or wear, are much more valuable than those that have been heavily circulated. For the 1993 quarter, this means that if the coin has been well preserved and shows minimal signs of use, it can command a much higher price than a typical quarter from the same year. Coin collectors often seek out coins in the best possible condition, and if you happen to find a 1993 quarter that's in pristine shape, it could make your collection worth a lot more. And now, you're probably wondering just how much a 1993 quarter can be worth, especially if you find one with an error or in excellent condition. For a standard 1993 quarter that hasn't been affected by any minting errors, its value is only slightly above its face value, typically just a few dollars more, depending on the condition. However, for error coins, especially those with rare and noticeable mistakes like a double die or off-center strike, the value can skyrocket. These errors can make a coin worth thousands of dollars, particularly if it's in top condition. Some of the rarest and most sought-after 1993 quarters can fetch an astonishing price at auctions or in private sales. The value of a well-preserved, error-free coin from 1993 might be a few $100s, but when you add in a significant minting error, like the double die or off-center strike, the price can escalate quickly. The most valuable examples of the 1993 quarter, especially those in perfect condition with a noticeable error, have been known to be sold for as much as $73,000. Yes, $73,000 for a single quarter that, in its regular form, would only be worth 25 cents. This shows just how much the world of coin collecting can surprise you. What seems like a simple, everyday coin could potentially be worth a life-changing amount of money if you know where to look and what to look for. Whether you're just beginning to collect coins or you're a seasoned expert, discovering a rare 1993 quarter could be the treasure you've been searching for. The thrill of coin collecting is all about finding those hidden gems, coins that, for one reason or another, have become rare and valuable over time. The 1993 quarter is a perfect example of how small, seemingly insignificant details can turn a regular coin into something truly special. So, the next time you come across a 1993 quarter in your pocket change, don't just brush it aside. Take a moment to inspect it closely, because you might just have a quarter worth $73,000. Top 4 1965 quarter. At first glance, it seems like just another typical quarter, but there's more to it than meets the eye. Let's dive into the history and the reasons why this particular coin might just be one of the most valuable quarters you could find. The 1965 quarter is part of the Washington Quarter series, a design that has become iconic in American currency. The quarter features a portrait of George Washington, the first President of the United States, designed by John Flanagan in 1932. This design has remained largely unchanged for decades, becoming a staple of American coinage. However, the 1965 quarter stands out for a number of reasons, particularly because it was minted during a period of significant changes in U.S. coinage. 1965 was a particularly important year for U.S. currency, as it marked a shift in how coins were made. During the early 1960s, the U.S. Mint was facing a growing shortage of silver. As a result, the government decided to change the composition of many coins, including the quarter. Before 1965, quarters were made of 90% silver, which gave them intrinsic value beyond their face value. However, due to rising silver prices and concerns about the availability of silver, the 1965 quarter was the first to be struck with a composition of 75% copper and only 25% nickel, removing silver entirely from its makeup. This change made the 1965 quarter much less valuable in terms of its metal content, but it also set the stage for something much more interesting in the world of coin collecting: the minting errors and rare varieties that followed. The 1965 quarter, while not containing silver, is still highly prized by collectors due to its unique characteristics, including certain errors that were made during its production. One of the key factors that has contributed to the value of the 1965 quarter is the presence of minting errors. In the world of coin collecting, a minting error can turn an otherwise ordinary coin into a valuable collector's item. These errors, which can occur for a variety of reasons during the coin production process, are rare and often create unique coins that can be worth a substantial amount of money. For the 1965 quarter, one of the most notable errors that collectors seek is the doubled die variety. A doubled die error occurs when a coin is struck more than once, causing the design to appear blurry or doubled. In the case of the 1965 quarter, the doubling is most commonly found on the obverse of the coin, specifically around George Washington's portrait or the inscriptions on the coin. This error is highly sought after because it's relatively rare and creates a one-of-a-kind piece of American history. If you happen to find a 1965 quarter with a noticeable double die error, it could be worth thousands of dollars to a serious collector. Another important feature that can increase the value of a 1965 quarter is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, causing the design to be struck off-center. This error is visually distinctive, with parts of the design being cut off, creating a unique and collectible piece. While off-center strikes are more common than doubled dies, they are still considered valuable, especially if the misalignment is extreme and clearly visible. A well-preserved 1965 quarter with an off-center strike can be a rare find, and collectors will pay top dollar for such coins. The condition of the coin is another important factor that determines its value. As with any collectible, the better the condition, the more valuable the item will be. A coin that has been well preserved, with minimal wear and tear, is always worth more than a coin that has been heavily circulated. For the 1965 quarter, this means that a coin that has been carefully stored and shows minimal signs of use can fetch a much higher price than one that has been passed through countless hands. Coins in mint or near mint condition are highly prized by collectors because they are more rare, and they represent a piece of American history in the best possible condition. So, just how much could a 1965 quarter be worth? For a standard 1965 quarter, its value is not much higher than its face value of 25 cents. However, once you add in the possibility of minting errors or the coin being in excellent condition, the price begins to climb. The value of the 1965 quarter can vary depending on the rarity of the error, the condition of the coin, and the demand among collectors. While most 1965 quarters are worth a few dollars above face value, certain rare examples, particularly those with minting errors, can be worth far more. For example, a 1965 quarter with a noticeable double die error or a significant off-center strike could sell for thousands of dollars at auction. The most valuable examples of these coins, particularly those in pristine condition and with rare errors, can sometimes fetch a staggering price. In fact, the most highly sought-after 1965 quarters have been known to sell for as much as $93,000. Yes, $93,000 for a single quarter. This is an astonishing price for a coin that, at first glance, might seem like just another ordinary piece of change. The thrill of coin collecting comes from the possibility of finding such rare and valuable items in your change, and the 1965 quarter represents the excitement and potential that exists in the world of numismatics. Whether you're just getting into coin collecting or you're a seasoned expert, knowing the value of coins like the 1965 quarter is essential to making smart investments and finding hidden treasures. So, the next time you come across a 1965 quarter, take a moment to inspect it closely. What may seem like an ordinary coin could be hiding a rare error or be in such pristine condition that it could be worth a small fortune. You never know when a quarter that's worth just 25 cents could turn into a coin worth $93,000. Top 5 1971 are not just worth 25 cents but can be worth an eye-popping amount of money? That's right, the 1971 quarter holds a level of intrigue that many coin collectors and enthusiasts are drawn to. While it may seem like just another coin, there are certain rare finds that make the 1971 quarter truly special. To understand why the 1971 quarter is worth more than just its face value, let's first take a look at the context of its production. In 1971, the U.S. Mint was in the midst of minting millions of quarters for circulation, all featuring the iconic image of George Washington. This quarter, designed by John Flanagan, had been in circulation since 1932, and it's a design that has endured through the decades. But the 1971 quarter is also part of a significant era in U.S. coinage. It marks the transition from the pre-1965 silver quarters to the copper-nickel plaid quarters that would dominate American currency for years to come. Of the 1971 quarter, like many other quarters from this era, was made with a composition of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel. This change in metal content, which had started a few years earlier, marked a departure from the use of silver in coins, which had been the standard until the early 1960s. While this shift made the coins less valuable in terms of their metal content, it didn't affect their appearance or functionality. However, it did change the way collectors valued them. For the average person, a 1971 quarter may not seem special at all. It's just another coin from the era, used to buy a cup of coffee or pay for a bus ride. However, when it comes to coin collecting, a quarter from 1971 could be worth much more than its 25-cent value if it features certain characteristics, such as minting errors or unique features that make it rare. One of the key reasons the 1971 quarter can be so valuable is because of the potential for minting errors. If you're unfamiliar with coin collecting, you may not know that minting errors, where a coin is struck incorrectly during production, are some of the most highly sought-after coins. These errors can range from something as simple as slight misalignment to more significant mistakes like doubling of the design or off-center strikes. In the case of the 1971 quarter, there are a number of different errors that collectors search for, and these can drastically increase the value of the coin. One of the most desirable errors in the 1971 quarter is the doubled die variety. This happens when the coin is struck twice by the die, causing the design to appear doubled. In the case of the 1971 quarter, this could mean that George Washington's portrait, or other inscriptions on the coin, appear with a noticeable doubling effect. These doubled die coins are extremely rare, and collectors are often willing to pay a premium for them. If you happen to come across a 1971 quarter with a doubled die error, you could be holding onto a coin worth far more than its face value. Another error that could increase the value of the 1971 quarter is an off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is misaligned during the minting process, causing the design to be struck off-center. Off-center coins are visually distinct and are often considered to be rare collectibles. A 1971 quarter with an off-center strike could be worth thousands of dollars, depending on the extent of the misalignment and the overall condition of the coin. In addition to errors, the condition of the coin plays a major role in determining its value. As with any collectible, a coin in pristine condition is far more valuable than one that has been heavily circulated. For the 1971 quarter, the ideal condition would be one that is well preserved, with no visible scratches, discoloration, or signs of heavy use. A 1971 quarter that has been kept in excellent condition, free from the usual wear and tear, can command a much higher price on the market. A coin that has been carefully maintained, perhaps even stored in a protective holder or slab, will always attract the attention of serious collectors. But how much can a 1971 quarter actually be worth? The answer depends on several factors, including the rarity of any minting errors, the condition of the coin, and the demand among collectors. For a standard, run-of-the-mill 1971 quarter that has been circulated, its value will only be slightly above face value, if at all. However, if the quarter features a rare error, or if it's in near-perfect condition, the value can rise dramatically. Some of the most valuable 1971 quarters can be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Coins that are in pristine condition, with no wear and with notable minting errors such as double die or off-center strikes, are highly sought after by collectors. These rare examples of the 1971 quarter are typically sold at auctions or through private sales, and they can fetch an impressive price. The highest value 1971 quarters, particularly those with clear minting errors or in exceptional condition, have been known to sell for an astounding price. In fact, Some of these rare coins have been known to be worth as much as $83,000. Yes, $83,000. That's right, a quarter from 1971, which is usually worth just 25 cents, could potentially be worth an incredible amount of money, depending on its rarity and condition. So, how can you spot a valuable 1971 quarter? The key is to look for unusual characteristics like minting errors, such as a double die or an off-center strike, and to carefully inspect the coin's condition. If you happen to come across a 1971 quarter that looks unusual or seems to have an error, don't just dismiss it as an ordinary coin. It could be worth a small fortune. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just starting out, the 1971 quarter offers a fascinating glimpse into the world of rare coinage and the potential for hidden treasures. In conclusion, the 1971 quarter is much more than just another piece of change. Thanks to minting errors, unique characteristics, and the right condition, this quarter could be worth far more than its original face value. The thrill of coin collecting lies in the potential to find these rare and valuable coins, and the 1971 quarter is a perfect example of how even the most seemingly common coins can turn out to be extraordinary treasures. So, the next time you come across a 1971 quarter, take a closer look. It could be worth $83,000. Top 6 1989 quarter is one such coin that's caught the attention of many coin collectors and enthusiasts. While the 1989 quarter might seem like just another ordinary coin at first glance, there's more to it than meets the eye. Let's dive into why this particular quarter can be worth much more than just 25 cents. The 1989 quarter is part of the Washington Quarter series, which has been in circulation since 1932. Designed by John Flanagan, the quarter features the iconic profile of George Washington, the first president of the United States. This design has endured for nearly a century and is widely recognized around the world. However, what sets the 1989 quarter apart is the story behind its minting and the factors that contribute to its potential value. One of the most important things to understand about the 1989 quarter is that it was minted during a time of transition for U.S. coinage. In 1982, the U.S. Mint had already moved away from silver, and by the time the 1989 quarter was struck, it was composed of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel. These quarters no longer contained silver, which had previously been part of the coin's composition up until the mid-1960s. The move to copper-nickel clad coins made them much more affordable to produce, but it also meant that their metal content held far less intrinsic value. Despite this, the 1989 quarter is still significant in the world of coin collecting due to its rarity and potential for minting errors. You might be wondering, what makes the 1989 quarter worth anything more than 25 cents? Well, the answer lies in the details. One of the most fascinating aspects of coin collecting is the discovery of minting errors. These are mistakes that happen during the production process, and they can turn an otherwise common coin into a valuable collector's item. For the 1989 quarter, several types of errors make it especially sought after by numismatists, coin collectors who specialize in rare coins. One of the most valuable types of error in the 1989 quarter is the double die variety. A double die error occurs when a coin is struck more than once, causing the design to appear as though it's been duplicated or blurred. This can happen if the die used to strike the coin is misaligned during the minting process. For the 1989 quarter, a double die error might be visible on George Washington's portrait, or it could affect the inscriptions around the coin. These errors are incredibly rare and highly coveted by collectors, making a double die 1989 quarter worth far more than its original face value. Another error that collectors look for in the 1989 quarter is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, causing the design to be struck off-center. Depending on how misaligned the coin is, the off-center strike can create a visually unique coin, often with part of the design missing from one side. These types of coins are quite rare, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for them. If you find a 1989 quarter with an off-center strike, it could be worth thousands of dollars, depending on how extreme the misalignment is. In addition to minting errors, the overall condition of the coin plays a significant role in determining its value. Like any collectible item, coins in better condition are worth more. A quarter that has been well preserved and shows minimal signs of wear will always be worth more than one that has been circulated extensively. For the 1989 quarter, a coin that's free from scratches, discoloration, or other signs of damage is far more valuable to collectors. Coins that have been carefully maintained and stored in protective holders can be worth a great deal more, especially when combined with rare minting errors. Now, you're probably wondering, how much could a 1989 quarter be worth? For a standard 1989 quarter that has been circulated, the value is only slightly above its face value. It might be worth just a few dollars more if it's in excellent condition. However, for a quarter with a significant minting error, the value can rise substantially. The 1989 quarter is one of those rare coins where a small mistake in production can lead to a significant increase in value. The most valuable examples of the 1989 quarter, particularly those with double die errors or off-center strikes, can sell for thousands of dollars. Some of the rarest and most valuable 1989 quarters have sold for impressive sums at auctions. If a quarter is in pristine condition with a noticeable minting error, it can fetch an astonishing price. In fact, the most valuable 1989 quarters have been known to sell for as much as $70,000. Yes, $70,000 for a single quarter. This goes to show just how valuable a simple, everyday coin can become when it has the right combination of rarity and condition. So, how can you tell if you have a 1989 quarter that's worth much more than 25 cents? The key is to carefully examine the coin for any signs of minting errors. Look for doubling on the design, particularly on the lettering or George Washington's portrait. Check for any signs of an off-center strike or other unusual features. And, of course, inspect the coin's condition. If you have a 1989 quarter that's in excellent shape and features one of these rare errors, you could have a coin that's worth thousands of dollars. In conclusion, while the 1989 quarter may seem like just another piece of change, it has the potential to be much more valuable than you might expect. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just someone who enjoys learning about rare coins, the 1989 quarter offers an exciting opportunity to discover a piece of American history that could be worth a small fortune. So, the next time you come across a 1989 quarter, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look, because you might be holding onto a coin worth $70,000. Top 7 1996 Washington Quarter. While this coin might seem like just another regular quarter, it actually holds the potential to be worth a small fortune if you know what to look for. To fully appreciate the value of the 1996 quarter, it's important to understand the historical and technical context behind its minting. The Washington quarter, which first entered circulation in 1932, features a portrait of George Washington, the first President of the United States. This iconic design by John Flanagan has become one of the most recognizable features of American currency. However, by 1996, the quarter had already undergone several changes, both in its design and in its composition. In fact, the 1996 quarter is a part of the series that reflects the transition from the older silver-based coins to the modern copper-nickel-clad coins that dominate U.S. currency today. Unlike older quarters, which contained a significant amount of silver, the 1996 quarter is made of a mixture of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel. While this change helped lower production costs for the U.S. Mint, it also meant that the coin's intrinsic metal value was much lower. However, this doesn't mean that the 1996 quarter is worth only 25 cents. In fact, there are several factors that can cause this coin to be highly valuable, especially if you're lucky enough to find a rare variety or error coin. One of the key reasons that collectors seek out certain 1996 quarters is because of the potential for minting errors. In the world of coin collecting, a minting error can turn an otherwise ordinary coin into a highly coveted item. When coins are struck, there's always a chance that something goes wrong in the process. These mistakes are called mint errors, and they are usually rare, making them incredibly valuable to collectors. Some minting errors, such as the double die or off-center strikes, can cause a significant increase in the coin's value, and this holds true for the 1996 quarter as well. The most sought-after errors in the 1996 quarter are double die varieties. This error happens when a coin is struck by the die more than once, causing the design to appear doubled or blurry. If you closely examine a 1996 quarter, you might notice that George Washington's portrait or other parts of the design look slightly duplicated or misaligned. While this can be difficult to spot with the naked eye, collectors are on the lookout for such errors, and the presence of a doubled die on a 1996 quarter can substantially increase its worth. Another error that can be found on the 1996 quarter is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, causing the design to be struck off-center. When this happens, the coin's design might be cut off or shifted to one side, creating a visually interesting and unique coin. Off-center strikes are relatively rare, and collectors who specialize in errors often pay a premium for such coins. The more misaligned the coin is, the more valuable it can be. If you find a 1996 quarter with a noticeable off-center strike, you could be holding onto something worth far more than its face value. While errors are an important factor in the value of a coin, the condition of the 1996 quarter also plays a significant role. In the world of numismatics, the condition of a coin can make a world of difference in its value. A coin that has been well preserved and shows little to no wear will always be worth more than one that has been heavily circulated. For example, if you come across a 1996 quarter that is in near mint or uncirculated condition, it could be worth significantly more than a quarter that's seen years of wear and tear. Collectors tend to gravitate toward coins in the best possible condition, and a well-preserved 1996 quarter could fetch a much higher price on the market. But just how much can a 1996 quarter be worth? For most people, a typical 1996 quarter will be worth, at best, slightly above its face value if it's in good condition. However, for those with minting errors or in pristine condition, the value can climb dramatically. The most valuable 1996 quarters, particularly those with noticeable double die errors, off-center strikes, or other rare features, have been known to fetch prices in the thousands of dollars. The most highly sought-after examples of this coin could potentially be worth as much as $69,000. Yes, you heard that right. A 1996 quarter, which would normally only be worth 25 cents, could be worth an incredible $69,000 if it has the right combination of error and condition. This is one of the remarkable aspects of coin collecting. What may seem like an ordinary piece of currency could potentially turn into a priceless collectible. And while this kind of discovery is rare, it's part of what makes the world of coin collecting so exciting. So, what should you look for if you suspect you have a valuable 1996 quarter? First, examine the coin closely for any signs of minting errors, such as doubling or misalignment. You should also check the coin's condition. Look for signs of wear and tear. If it's in excellent condition with minimal or no signs of circulation, it's more likely to be worth more. If you're unsure whether your coin is a rare variety or error coin, it's always a good idea to have it professionally appraised or authenticated by an expert. The 1996 quarter is a great example of how even the most common coins can have hidden value. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just someone who enjoys the thrill of finding something special in your change, this quarter offers a great opportunity to discover a potential treasure. So, the next time you come across a 1996 quarter, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look. It might be worth more than you think. You might just find a quarter that's worth $69,000. Top 8 1973 Quarter Dollar. While the 1973 quarter may seem like just another coin to the average person, it has a fascinating story behind it that has made it highly coveted among coin collectors. The 1973 quarter, like many others from this period, was minted during an era of transition in U.S. coinage. It was part of the Washington Quarter series, which has been in circulation since 1932. This coin, designed by John Flanagan, features a profile of George Washington, the first president of the United States, which has become synonymous with American coinage. However, the 1973 quarter isn't just notable for its design. It's also part of the period when the U.S. Mint moved away from silver-based coins and began minting coins with a different composition. By the early 1970s, the silver content in quarters was being phased out, and coins like the 1973 quarter were struck with a composition of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel. While the change in composition made these quarters less valuable in terms of metal content, it didn't change the way they were used in circulation. However, collectors started to take a closer look at these coins, and some of them began to emerge as particularly rare and valuable. The 1973 quarter has been the subject of attention due to the fact that, like many coins from this era, there are certain varieties and errors that make it much more valuable than you might initially think. When it comes to valuable coins, one of the main factors that collectors look for is the presence of minting errors. Minting errors occur when something goes wrong during the coin's production. These errors can make an otherwise standard coin incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors. For the 1973 quarter, there are a few key minting errors that can make this coin especially valuable. One of the most common and sought-after errors in this quarter is the double die variety. A double die error occurs when the coin is struck by the die more than once, which causes the design to appear doubled or blurry. This doubling effect can be subtle or more pronounced, but it is often visible on key parts of the design, such as the lettering or George Washington's portrait. For the 1973 quarter, a double die error can be a significant factor in increasing its value. These types of errors are quite rare, and as a result, they are highly prized by collectors who are looking to add something unique to their collection. If you happen to find a 1973 quarter with a double die error, you could have a coin that's worth far more than its face value. Another error that can make the 1973 quarter especially valuable is an off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, causing the design to be struck off-center. Depending on how misaligned the coin is, an off-center strike can create a visually striking and unique coin that collectors are eager to get their hands on. Off-center strikes are relatively rare, and the more extreme the misalignment, the more valuable the coin can be. For the 1973 quarter, finding one with an off-center strike could turn an otherwise ordinary coin into something worth thousands of dollars. In addition to these minting errors, the overall condition of the 1973 quarter plays a significant role in determining its value. As with any collectible item, coins that are in better condition tend to be more valuable. A coin that has been well preserved and shows little to no signs of wear will always fetch a higher price than one that's been heavily circulated. If you find a 1973 quarter that looks like it has just been struck, with sharp details and a clean surface, it could be worth far more than a quarter that has been used in day-to-day transactions. Coins that are in excellent condition are always in demand among collectors, so it's important to keep your eyes peeled for a well-preserved 1973 quarter. So, what kind of price can a 1973 quarter fetch? For most 1973 quarters, if they're in typical circulated condition, the value will be close to face value or slightly above. However, for those with minting errors or in pristine condition, the value can rise dramatically. Collectors are always searching for coins with unique characteristics, and the 1973 quarter, with its potential for rare minting errors and the right condition, is one that commands attention in the coin market. Some of the rarest and most valuable 1973 quarters have been sold for as much as $89,000. That's right, $89,000 for a coin that was originally worth just 25 cents. This is a prime example of how a simple coin can become a highly valuable collectible with the right features. The presence of a minting error or an exceptional grade can make the 1973 quarter worth many times more than its original face value. It's a reminder that the world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and the hunt for rare coins can yield some incredible finds. If you're looking to find out whether your 1973 quarter might be worth more than its face value, the first thing you should do is examine it carefully. Look for any signs of minting errors, such as a double die or an off-center strike. These errors are often noticeable when you inspect the coin closely. If you find something that doesn't seem quite right, there's a good chance you've stumbled upon a rare variety. Additionally, always consider the condition of the coin. If it's in excellent shape, it could be worth much more than a typical circulated quarter. The 1973 quarter serves as a reminder of the excitement and thrill of coin collecting. What seems like a common coin at first glance could actually turn out to be a rare treasure. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or a newcomer to the world of numismatics, the 1973 quarter offers an exciting opportunity to uncover something special. So, the next time you come across a 1973 quarter, take a closer look. It could be worth $89,000.